as mentioned earlier, that there is a file line.data. Now in line.data, there will be line number like 018, then incoming channel like SUA. This name will be given to the computer name. Now in incoming channel, you just click on my computer, then properties, then you click on the change setting. Once you click on the change setting, you can change the computer name and work group. Computer name will be incoming channel and work group will be ANS. Now once you have changed the computer name and work group, now you can disable the firewall of that particular system. Now how you will change disable the firewall of the system? You go to control panel, you will find Windows Defender firewall. You double click on it, there will be a private network and a guest or public network. You just disable both of them. Here one option you will find, it, turn Windows Defender firewall on or off. You click on this and you will get the option to disable both the private as well as public network firewall. Now the fourth part will be network configuration. Now I think you already have done this. You go to network setting and this IP version 4, you double click on it and give the IP addresses as you have assigned to your server, and you have also IP for this workstation. You give the IP address and a subnet of a particular IP, and you go ahead with the IP settings. Now host file. Now where you will find this host file, you have to change the host file. Now in Windows, you will go to local disk C. In C, you will find Windows folder. Under Windows folder, you will find system32. Under system32, you will find drivers, and inside this driver folder, you will see another folder that is etc etc, and under this etc folder you can see here also, under etc folder you have a host file. Now once you will double click on it, you open the host file using notepad, and after you open that file, you have to put a few IP addresses and name. Like you have to put the IP address of AMSS1, AMSS2. Database is not there, so you don't need to put the address of database, and you can also put the address of different workstation as well. But the mandatory part is IP address like 172.20.1.1, and there will be a tab. You just press tab and then the name of like AMSS1. Similarly, 172.20.1.2 AMSS 2. And remember, this AMSS1 will be in small letter. Don't use capital letter here. So these two, the IP which you have assigned to your AMSS1 and AMSS2, you put the IP address of AMSS1 here, and then enter tab, press tab, and then write AMSS1. Similarly, you put the IP address of AMSS2 and press tab and type AMSS2. Now ODBC configuration. Now you have to configure ODBC. You just go to search button and type ODBC, open database, and you will find this 32-bit. You can configure both 32 as well as 62, but we are using 32-bit application, so we will use this 32-bit ODBC configuration. So once you will click on this ODBC 32-bit, you will see this window. Now here you have to press system DSN here. After you will click on system DSN, you will see three options here: add, remove, or configure. As you will configure first time, so there will be no previous data will be available, so you have to click on add. Once you will click on add, you will find see this window. Here you have to mention the name of this particular connection and server name. Now I'll go from this table. You can see Like a data source name will be FDB, server name will be DBA, and database name will be FDB. So same thing we have done here. Name, in name you put FDB, then server you select DBA, then you click on next. Once you click next, you will find this Windows NT authentication or SQL server. Now again you can press next uh, by clicking on Windows NT authentication. Then you actually you don't have database, right? So you don't need to configure this ODBC. So after ODBC, uh, these are you can just check this, that you enabled administrator as user, then change machine name, work group, disable firewall, network configuration, edit host file, configure ODBC. Is ready to run the front end application for many IPMSs.
Excuse me.
Now,
Even
yes,
if Goa don't have database, but they need to configure ODBC to get access of Mumbai database.
yes, if you want a miss you want data for from Mumbai, then you can uh,
But
configure the
you said that
ODBC
there
for
is no need
that.
to configure ODBC.
Actually, suppose you have a workstation, right? Now your workstation is directly connected to uh, your your mini IPMS. Now, if there is a RWS connection from Mumbai directly, then you can configure the ODBC for that particular terminal.
Okay, so for the computer which is directly connected to mini MSS, there is no need to configure ODBC.
No, or if you are configuring ODBC, then there is a thing that the IP series you are using and the IP series which is Mumbai is using, means you have to do the routing in that way. Okay, then only you can access, and you have to use the RWS application in that particular PC to get data from Mumbai.
So,
Yes,
for supervisor position, supervisor
yes,
done. So in having ODBC,
yes. You put Mumbai database address, but you have to take care that you are the routing
in default gateway provide
use the
IP address.
IP address for proper routing. If it is done, then if you can Mumbai. Okay.
Okay.
Means if you just have, if you just done the ODBC and if you have not your router, then you will not get the data. Okay.
So in which case there is not, in which application there is no requirement of ODBC at Goa. So
I-
we
i-
no need to configure.
uh, if in Goa you are accessing the Mumbai database, then you can configure the ODBC.
No,
Okay.
is
It
there
is
any
every
application
work
which is there any application which works without configuration of ODBC?
can work without, cannot access any database.
Okay.
Okay. But
Okay.
if you want to access the database of Mumbai, then you have to configure your ODBC. Giving the name, okay, name and path. But
At one place you said that ODBC is not required for Goa person. I want the answer for that. Why did you use that sentence just like that?
I don't know that you are accessing Mumbai database. Okay. So if you want to access the Mumbai database, then you have to configure ODBC. And if you are solely dependent on your mini IPMSs, then you don't have to configure your ODBC.
But
So
many IPMSs don't have any database.
yes, yes. So you want to
So
access
ODBC should be required, na?
so you want to access the database of Mumbai. So in that case, you have to configure the ODBC.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So in that case, you just click on next, and then here change the default database and select FDB here, and press next. Your ODBC will be configured, but you have to do the routing. Suppose you are using a IP series of 172.20.1.0. This is the network IP. Then you have to do the proper routing in your router, so that a proper connection is built between you and Mumbai to access this database. Okay. Now in IPMSS package, including following, these are the following front-end application which are provided in mini IPMSS, which are supervisor, ATS data processing, NOTAM application, which is not needed in Goa. Mainly supervisor application, ATS data processing application, ATS application, and remote briefing application. These four applications will be mainly needed at Goa end. Now general information. These are only repeating. I am repeating. Machine name of the user terminal should be incoming channel prefix defined in the line.data. Now IP address of mini IMSS switch server and database server should be included in host file. Now you don't have it database in locally, so you don't have to put the database IP address. But in case you are using the Mumbai database, then you have to put that database address and the name of the database. Similarly, ODBC 32-bit to be configured as per requirement, and every application has a configuration file which should be configured through GUI template. When you will run the application first time in any computer, then you will see a configuration file which I will show in later PPT. There you can configure the application for that particular application. Now this is just for ODBC, that data source name should be FDB, then server name should be DBA, and the database name in DBA you are accessing the FDB database. Similarly, you have to create one more for NOTAM query, that is the name of the data source will be NDB and the server name will be DBP and database name should be NDB. Now this is the application configuration. Once suppose you are running the application first time in your PC, then you have to configure that particular application. There you will see this supervisor. Suppose you are running the supervisor application, then it will be written supervisory control, and whatever the computer name will be there, that will be hard coded here, SUB. Suppose SUB is there. Now what you have to put this station ECAU code and the originator indicator, and other option you have to select. I'll show you. Suppose you are running the application first time, then you will see this type of window where you will click on create. You see this when you are running the application for the first time, you will see system configuration file not available, please generate configuration. You click on OK, then you will find this particular window where you will click on create. After you will click on create, you have to put the station ECAU code and the originator indicator means for that particular position. Suppose supervisor application is there, then you will put YFOX, VECC YFOX. Then you select the database and whatever. Suppose you have connected a printer in COM1, then you select COM1 and then you press create. Similarly, for supervisor, these two things you have to click database and COM1. Suppose you have not configured any ODBC, then you just untick this database. And if you are using Mumbai database, then you have to configure the ODBC as well as click on this database. Now for booking application, similar type of configuration is there. You can click on error message, database, RPL status. Now for RWS application, suppose you are having one RWS station, then you give this application to them, and you give the station location, station ECAU code, then the position address, and then whoever that RWS station will send the service message. Suppose one RWS station is VMN is there, then that RWS station will send to Kolkata actually. So we'll put here VCC YF YF. So all the service messages for this particular station will come to VCC YFX. That is only AMSS host address. Means who is the host AMSS for this particular RWS station? That supervisory address you have to give here. Then other things you have to select the database, drop printer, and if one printer is directly connected, then you select COM1, and if any other drop printer are there, then you put 1, 2, 3 similarly for ATC CNS mid. Yeah, this is the basic configuration for RWS application. Now this I have shown you already. Now in this mini IP MSS, only one single .exe file will be there for application. You don't have to copy any other folder. You just double click on the exe file and all the folders will be created automatically. Now once you run double click on the application, this window will come, and if all the connections are okay, then you will see SQL database server connectivity available and the IP address of that particular PC. Now if your application is properly connected, then there are three color code you can see here. Now if suppose your application cannot connect to your mini IPMSS, then you will come to see red, which will be initially once suppose you are running the application for the first time, then you will see red here. Then after your application or your PC, that particular PC started receiving the broadcast message from your mini IPMSS, then you will come to see pink color. And once the connection has been established, then you will come to see the green color here. Green indication means your application is running properly, and you can exchange the message between your mini IPMSS and your workstation. Now, once you run a particular application, one AMSS folder will be created in local disk C. And suppose you are running five application in one PC, then for different application under AMSS folder, different folder will be created for different application. Don't create or modify any files in this folder. The concerned folder may be deleted or recreated of all files folder automatically. Means you don't have to make any change under these folders. It will be automatically created. Just double click on the application and all the folders will be created under AMSS folder. Now general features. Actually, I will be covering the SOUP application today. Many IPMSS front-end applications are designed on user-friendly GUI. However, there are few additional facility automatically in the application. Also, all the application on the starter make an auto negotiation with the switch server to adjust the LRLS of the application. Actually, there will be a reset refresh button. Earlier, if suppose your application used to hang, then you have to go to taskbar and kill that. Now you just click on this refresh button and your application will automatically close and restart it. Now this is once you will run the supervisor application, you will come to see this particular template. Now what are the different buttons which are given? AFTN, you know, you can see and send the AFTN message from this AFTN button. From message info, you can see the received message, transmitted message, or previous received, previous transmitted message. Now in supervisor, actually there are mainly two important option, which is one is quick action and other one is supervisory control. In quick action, all the basic action which are used in day-to-day basis from supervisor position are given. Into control, extra features are given. So I'll cover both. Suppose you click on this quick action button, then you will come to see this particular template. All the menus are given in the left side, and once you click on different menu, you will come to see different type of result. Now you can see if you click on the service message, this particular template will pop up and you will come to see different service messages received from different stations. Similarly, transmit queue is there. If any message is pending in any channel or any line, then you will come to see the uh, pending messages for that particular channel. If you click on that one particular channel and click on submit button, then you will come to see the messages which are pending in that particular line. Similarly, SS priority message, you click on SS message, you will come to see SS priority message. Similarly, rejected message is there. If any message is rejected by your mini IP MSS, then you will come to see the rejected message here, and you to view this message, you click on this and click on this message, and you will come to see the message. If you can rectify the problem, then you can submit it or you remove it. Similarly, to close a channel, you just press on close and give the channel ID, and that channel will be closed. Similarly, open channel is there, and route diversion. Earlier in ECIL MSS, we to divert a route, we used to give a 4-letter code, just IVVQ or NVAQ, but in mini IPMSs only 3 letters are required. That is the channel ID. So to divert a route, you just give the channel ID and from which you are diverting the channel. Similarly, message retrieval is there. This message retrieval will be done from your mini IPMSs, and once you click on the message retrieval, you come to see this particular window, and where you have to mention the date, the channel prefix you have to mention, and incoming, outgoing, or retransmit. You can either retransmit or view the incoming channel based on message number, address, filing time, receive time, priority, or you can see the different type of message by clicking on service message, flight plan, NOTAM, or all message. Now message tracking is there. If you want to track one particular message, you just give the channel prefix of that particular channel and then message number, and you press OK, and you come to see the tracking. Like that particular message has went to NID channel with a sequence number 74 at time 030028, and system LRLS. Once you click on this system LRLS, you come to see the LRLS of all the lines which are directly connected from your mini IPMSs. Now the other option is soup control. Now under soup control, you once you click on the soup control, you will see this particular menu. In this particular menu, there are 3 buttons which are system control, line control, and maintenance. Okay, so I'll go one by one. Now suppose you system control, similar which are given in quick action: open all channel, close all channel, or active diversion, which diversion is currently active, stop diversion, block all channel, unblock all channel, disk configuration. Okay, to view the disk configuration of your IPMSs. Similarly, line control is there. In line control, one extra feature is given: channel full status. Suppose you want to see the full status of a particular channel, you just click on this channel full status and give the channel ID for the particular channel you want to view status, and you will get all the information related to that particular line, like what is the line type, what is the LRLS of that particular channel. You can view all the information here. Now channel closing, channel opening is there, channel in monitoring. Suppose you have put a particular channel in monitoring, and some other person came and he want to see that which channel is in monitoring currently, then you can click on this particular option and view that which channel is currently in monitoring. Similarly, monitoring incoming channel, you can monitor a incoming channel from this option. Monitor outgoing channel is there, and if you want to stop monitoring, then you click on stop monitoring and give the channel ID. Set a channel sequence number. Suppose your channel sequence number from a particular uh, channel has mismatched, then you click on this set channel sequence number and give the channel ID and the sequence number. And there is one list of address. Now suppose a particular channel is there and you want to see that what are the addresses which are going to that particular line. Suppose you are directly connected to Mumbai via mini IPMSs. Now suppose Mumbai is AEI. Now you just say list of address, you click on this and give AEI, then you can view all the addresses which are going to AEI. Now similarly maintenance is there. Actually there is no SCSI disk for you, otherwise this insert disk and delete disk and update disk, these three option is for SAN disk, or earlier in ECIL MSS SCSI disk was used. Now backup on FTP server, you have to take the backup of daily all the AFTN message of daily in one FTP server. This is for this. If you click on backup on FTP server and give 0, then you are taking the backup for today. Similarly, if you press 1, then you are taking the backup for previous day. And similarly 2, 3, 4, you can take the backup for 30 days. Refresh router ARP. Sometimes what happens, our IPMSS gets hangs or gets automatically change over, but the router ARP table does not get refreshed. In that case, what we usually do, we go and switch off manually we switch off the router manually. But in this case, you can directly refresh the router ARP from here. Now disable link. Similarly, you might have seen this in ACIL AMSS. If you want to disable any incoming outgoing channel or normalize any incoming outgoing channel. Now restart IP process. Suppose you have a direct connection with Mumbai, and suppose you are directly connected with Mumbai with BSNL line, and BSNL line status is okay, but you are saying a message pending for AEI in transmit queue. Then in that particular case, what you can do, you can restart the IP process which is related to this AEI. Suppose for AEI you are using a process IM, AV, SIM. Suppose, then what happens, sometimes this connection gets hanged, so you can click on restart IP process and you just type AVSIM or whatever the process you are using for this particular line, and that particular process will be killed, and one new connection will be established. And shut down main application, you don't have to use this particular option, but this option is for if you want to shut down your mini IPMSS by sitting at supervisor position, then you can do that, but you don't have to do it. Same for different application. What are the name of the application? For supervisor control, AMSS subcontrol.exe. For ATS data processing, ATS data processing.exe. And for remote briefing terminal application, that is RBT underscore application.exe. You might have downloaded this application or we'll send it. So any question related to this application, front end application? Is there any question related to this front end application? Okay, any problem you faced in installing Linux operating system or the prerequisite for that particular Linux application? Goa people, have you installed Linux in your server?
Yes, yes. In but in both AMS1 and Linux OS, and in one AMSS1 we are in further progress, and we have came up to host file creation.
Okay,
Work is in progress.
okay, okay.
Till now, no problem faced.
Okay, till now no problem faced. Okay. Okay, you have done all the connection between AMSs and you have created one supervisor position. All that connections are done, right?
No, right now we have started with two systems and we have made them AMSS 1 and 2. And one
Okay.
raw Windows 10 computer has been connected in the network, but it has not been configured, supervised, or nothing. It needs
Okay.
to be done.
And both the server
Yeah.
having two NIC cards, two network ports are there in both the servers.
Sir, three
PCs.
IC card.
Okay, three network ports are there.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay,
Two was inbuilt. Third one we installed.
okay. Okay, then we'll take a 10 minutes break and then we'll continue with next part. Okay.